What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to CM Aviation. Hope you're on a fantastic day today. And today we have the GeminiJets October 2025 releases for you all. I hope all of you are excited for this today. Really eager to see what GeminiJets has as per usual, and I'm sure there's going to be no shortage of excitement here. So I accidentally logged in on Instagram, saw another America 787, and I said, okay, we're turning this phone off immediately. It kind of slipped my mind. But anyway, with that being said, that will probably be our first aircraft, so no spoilers there. Otherwise, we are moving forward. So yes, it is 836 Alpha Alpha, the sister ship to 835 that was done previously, and what a CGI that is. I don't know why it looks almost light blue, but that is very interesting. So let's hope that they get it right on the actual aircraft. The last one was done nearly 3 years ago, so which is really mind-boggling, to be honest. So it makes sense for another one here. And definitely check out all the links in the description. I would recommend Wildcat Diecast for the pre-orders. They are fantastic. So yes, definitely check out those links below. But anyway, let's continue. We'll have a flaps down and go with it, I'm sure. That's exactly what we have. So we'll be excited to get this aircraft. Never can go wrong with the 77, and I just hope that that CGI is just a little bit off there, because that one definitely does not quite look to be the right color. But anyway, there we go for the America 787. So glad to get another one in the rotation here. Delta 717, very well timed. It's also been about 3 years on this one. Last was maybe July of 23, so excited to see this. This time 947 Alpha Tango. I love the 717. I think it's great, so definitely in favor of getting this. So some very strong re-releases here to start, some very popular ones. So Gemini continuing to utilize that format to their advantage. So certainly looking good here with the first 3 models of October. Next, we'll get a Emirates Boeing 727-200. That was not on the bingo card. Alpha 6 Echo Mike Charlie. I don't think they've done one before, so this is really cool. We saw their future hints, which I'll make it. That video should be coming out here pretty soon. But we saw a bunch of future releases, and it's exciting to think about what they're going to be releasing. So very excited about that, and that should be pretty cool. But in regards to this, I think this is a really cool one here, and it'll really start the trend of all these Boeing 727s they're going to do. So that's pretty cool. So definitely happy to see that. Wildcat Diecast has some of the best model aircraft deals out there. From great prices to all the brands to free shipping, Wildcat Diecast has you covered. This model aircraft retailer is a game changer and saves you money with every order. Save even more money with discount code CM Aviation for 10% off. Be sure to check out Wildcat Diecast and bring those amazing deals to your model aircraft collection today. How about an Ethiopian Boeing 777-9X? This is Echo Tango Bravo Bravo X-Ray. This does have the folding wingtips. I definitely want to get an aircraft like this at some point. I do not have an Ethiopian Airlines aircraft. Maybe this will be a cool one. And it seems like this might be the first one in 1-400 with folding wingtips. I don't know if I'm right or wrong on that, but nevertheless, it is very cool to see it. And I'm really excited. I'm eager to see it. So this definitely is going to be a possibility. So stay tuned, and we will see if one of these comes to the collection at some point. Next, we have a Norse Boeing 787-9 Dreamliner Golf Charlie Kilo Whiskey Sierra. This is definitely one that I am interested in for sure. Saw 4 of them at this past Spot LEX, which next year it's already announced for September 18th through 20th. So mark that for the calendar, along with Aviation Expo in Seattle from July 8th through 11th. I'm sure Gemini will be a big participant there. But nevertheless, we have here with Norse, this is a great aircraft. I'm really excited about this, and that's definitely one that I'll certainly be considering. We'll just see what the options look like and where we go. But yeah, it's unbelievable. I'm certainly not complaining. I don't want this to be took as criticism, but more of just an observation, as there's not a single MSRP on this list yet under $60, which is crazy. We'll see if we get a narrow body that might, or a narrow body or regional jet, I guess, that would fit that. I don't think prices went up again. Let me see if the previous narrow bodies were 62. Yeah, the 321neo actually were, well, that's 100 years. So actually 6095 for the CRJC. Yeah, this is about right. I don't think there's any increases because we had one earlier this year. So let's go ahead and get back in our placement here and see what our next aircraft is after the Norse. A flaps down to go with it. No major surprises there. So once again, happy to see that aircraft getting done there. That's nice. Northwest 757-300, the retro surge continues with 587 November whiskey. So very cool. This is the final livery without winglets. They did this in 2008 or 9, whenever it was. So this has been done once, but really awesome to get another version of it. I think it's great to see Gemini continuing to exercise their abilities to rotate really through all their aircraft, not just the new releases and the re-releases, but also these older aircraft that they've done way back and getting them back on the market. So another one that will be really cool. That's a really good looking plane, so I'm sure that will be very much appreciated for Northwest lovers and everybody in between. So another very good choice right there. Some very good variety here this month for sure. And there's the Saul Bass, Battleship Gray United Boeing 737-500 we expected from 1 to 200 to make it down. This is really cool. I'll definitely likely get this. I do have the 733, but this was a common player for projects that I'm working on, that throwback Tulsa Airport. So this will definitely be a unit to utilize down there down the road. So no shortage of some throwback aircraft here as we round it off. But we do have a United 737-900 Evo Blue, or sorry, Continental Retro. I thought this was going to be Evo Blue for a minute, so I jumped because we've talked about that several times. But regardless of the case, it is really cool to see Continental Retro, as NG did their version a long time ago. I'm eager to see what the wing flex is going to look like on this one, and some of those aspects. But yeah, obviously I have the NG, so I'm in decent shape on this particular offering. But I am eager to see how it comes out, and I really hope that it looks really good. So that's a good release right there. So really happy to see that, and for anybody that needs that aircraft, this is a great time to get it. So looking very cool. And a VizJetAll.com Airbus A330-300. This is a very NG-like release. This is Victor November Alpha 811. Excuse me. It's the Pearls Links livery. I saw many of these during my time in Asia, spotting during the around the world trip. So I definitely would be interested in an aircraft like this long term. I don't know if I want it to be this fancy of a livery, for example, maybe more standard one. But I really applaud Gemini's effort for catering to all aspects. This is a very served market for sure in the 1 to 400 landscape, of course. But Gemini's got to get their take on it, and there's no doubt this is one of their best releases in a long time. One popular new U.S. subject would have been really nice. Maybe trade out the American 789 for another American aircraft that's really popular, an A319 with IAEs, but I suppose Gemini didn't want to do us too crazy with these releases. The throwbacks are amazing. You have the international diversity this month, really strong with the Middle East offering. You got the Africa offering, you got the Europe offering, and the Asia. This is a grand slam. Absolute unit right here. No complaints on my side. Maybe one foreign narrow body as well if you really want to nitpick, but this is a top tier 93%, 95% release from Gemini. This is phenomenal. Just an amazing job overall. So many good planes. Definitely check it out. Link in the description for Wildcat Diecast. Get your pre-orders in. And now we'll get some reveal in the 1-200. So let's take a look at what's going on there. A Beluga, very cool. Foxtrot Golf Sierra Tango Alpha. This has normally been the JC Wings wheelhouse for them to do it, but now we have Gemini taking it on. I'm excited to see what this aircraft looks like. This is really cool, and just a major applause to Gemini for continuing to do what they do best. That is fantastic. Looking really good. Okay, U.S. Airways Heritage comes up now for the American A321 578 Uniform Whiskey. So an aircraft that turned out great in 1 to 400 will make it up to 1 to 200 very smoothly. So happy to see that. That's great. And there it is. I mentioned this in the video, and you can check the date stamp when I put out the other one. I said that American Eagle Saab 340 will likely be coming soon, and here it is in the October 2025 set 389 Alpha Echo. Very happy to see this. It would be a dream for it to come in 1-400. I don't think we're going to get it there, but this is a very good looking aircraft, and definitely highlighting some of the throwback liveries this month for GeminiJets, no doubt in both scales. So happy to see this, and a very good looking aircraft. That looks super duper cool. So Gemini, maybe we can get some of those American Eagles in 1 to 200 sometime. 1 to 400 sometime, excuse me. ATR 72, ATR 42, Saab 340. And even the Shorts 360 would be pretty cool, but definitely a really good start right there. It's really cool. That China Northern Airlines MD-90 makes it up to the 1 to 200 scale on Bravo 2253. I talked about this last month being a very unique offering with delivery and whatnot, and it looks pretty cool. So definitely a nice one right there, and happy to put that all together. That's a very good release right there. Very good for those collectors. And it seems like they're going to clear that whole backlog that I talked about in that video. The Eastern Airlines Boeing 727-100 that was just there comes over to this release November 8120 November. This is going to be a very popular offering, so definitely get going on this. Very happy to see Gemini covering some very popular models. They for a long time were unwilling to do retro aircraft, and I know there's a huge market for that, especially popular ones like this. So a very good offering right there, and Gemini just continuing to expand their footprint there in that retro market. There's no doubt about that. We got an Emirates A380 Alpha 6 Echo Victor Golf, and again, not complaining, just want to observe nearly a $250 MSRP now on a 1-200 A380. Here it is. This is the new updated titles. It looks really nice. Maybe a discount from the Emirates company store somewhere would be a good way to get your hands on that. So looking very nice there for the Emirates A380. We do have the Helvetic Embraer ERJ190E2, so it appears to me they're going to clear almost all of that backlog that they had. This was another future preview that they had, so we've now got 2 of those out of here. So looking very nice, happy to see that one getting done, and many collectors will enjoy that. The 1400 was really good, so happy to see that. Qantas Boeing 737-800 did make it up to 1200 Victor Hotel Victor Zulu Whiskey. I just got one of the recent releases with the blended winglets, so great to see this one, and this will be great for anybody that's looking for the Scimitar version or just the newer one in general. United Airbus A321neo does make it up to the 1-200 scale. This is 14502. Very nice looking airplane. Definitely would like to continue to expand my fleet, but this one I already have by in-flight, so we are satisfactory with this aircraft. In fact, that one, it's not on the shelf up there. I think it's somewhere in the other room in the box. I need to get it out. So that's looking great. And we have the Embraer 175 making it up. This one, I definitely this in the 550. I want to get one or the other. So hopefully I'll find a good deal on Black Friday, or who knows where I'll find it. But I definitely very interested. Probably this 175 considering its versatility and popularity. So that one definitely is on the list, but that's going to be a hot seller. So definitely get it going. I'm impressed that there's only a $10 difference here on these two. That's really impressive. And that is the GeminiJets October 2025 releases. Going back to 1-400 scale, once again, this is nearly a perfect release in regards to how stacked it is, to be completely honest. Once again, my preference would have been for probably an American A319 with IAEs, and maybe take out the... there's really no aircraft you want to take out, of course. Maybe let the United Battleship grade go till next month and put in there I'm just giving an example, EasyJet A320 or whatever. But otherwise, this is really good. This is definitely one of their best releases. I am a huge fan of not only the US popularity, but also the international diversity to go with this release. This is definitely a release that a collector can find a plane from that they can at least, say it's from their region or really enjoy. So I think that's really cool. But obviously a very heavy US emphasis with 6 offerings from the US, so no shortage there. And definitely going to be getting that American 789, Delta 717, and hopefully one or the other on the retros. The Battleship Gray is definitely the more applicable one for what I, could use, but that doesn't mean that the Northwest isn't cool. So we'll just see what happens. And I'm really, once again, they're both really unique aircraft, so they definitely, serve their purpose very well. And then the Continental Retro is great, so definitely get that if you don't have it already. And then once again, the Norse, I'm very excited about that, so definitely would like to get that. And then, wish list planes include that VisJet and also the Ethiopian. So yeah, I really kind of want all of these. This is a great lineup. So tremendous, and definitely will be very popular. High level overview, the 1-200 is definitely more of a US focus here, though there are some international pieces that make this very desirable. We do have our one unique aircraft one non-airline aircraft, I should say, with that Airbus Beluga. I think that's great. Awesome to see the backlog get cleared out a little bit. Some of those were kind of lingering, so there's only a few remaining. So great to get a couple more of those. Some really popular ones to go with that. So definitely will be a heavy month for retro collectors and modern collectors alike. And once again, I have several that I'm really interested in. Great deal on the American Saab would be a possibility. I love that Emirates A380, but it's probably out of my budget. But the United Embraer 175 is definitely the one that I'm like, I really would like that. So we will see if it works out. But nevertheless, definitely tell me what you all think in the comments below. I'm really impressed with this. I think it's really good and very excited to hear your all's thoughts and just overall what you think in general. With that being said, that'll do it for today's video, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe. Trust the process. Do you love and love you do. My name's CM Aviation. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon as CM Aviation is signing off.